Fox 61, Connecticut's news station, starts with a weather impact alert.
Connecticut got absolutely drenched with rain today. The nor'easter was not messing around, but now at 6, only parts of the state are still experiencing heavy rain. Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. You're still going to need that umbrella, raincoat, and boots tonight because the weather impact alert is still in place, at least for a few more hours.
Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank is here with the first check of the forecast. So, Rach, where does the rain go from here?
Well, it will slowly wind down, so it won't be like flipping a switch tonight and it suddenly stops. I think we'll keep this weather impact alert through about 10 o'clock. That's when we'll see the steadiest rain, and then it will become more scattered and certainly a lot lighter in nature. Look at this area of low pressure rapidly deepening here. Lots of lightning strikes here associated with that system as it continues to intensify. And we are still seeing plenty of rain across the state and even some locally heavier downpours here from Tolland down through Columbia. We're also seeing some in northeastern Connecticut around Putnam and Killingly, and some moderate showers here through Plymouth and Burlington as well. The farther west you go, the lighter and more scattered the rain showers are. We saw the lowest rainfall totals in Danbury, the highest rainfall totals in Groton and New London, where some areas got over 2 inches of rain. But we'll continue to see these showers as we head through the next several hours. I'm a poet, didn't even know it. But notice as we head towards daybreak, that activity will start to diminish. Slow improvement for the coming days. We'll explain. Your full forecast is coming up.
The night of December 6th, 2022, a condo in Milford became a murder scene. Police say a man killed his ex-girlfriend with an axe. Julie Minogue was home when 2 of her 3 children, a 3-year-old and a 17-year-old.
The man accused of murdering Minogue was sentenced at Milford Superior Court today. Several members of Julie Minogue's family were there and spoke on her behalf on what the loss means for their family.
Fox 61's Jamel Johnson's in Milford with the story.
It was an emotional day in Milford Superior Court as the man who just months ago pleaded guilty to killing his ex-girlfriend with an axe is sentenced to 40 years in jail. Her family made it clear that time does not heal all wounds. The gruesome murder happened in 2022 when police say Ewan DeWitt entered Julie Minogue's home and killed her with an axe while 2 of her children were home. Prosecutors say Minogue had gotten a restraining order against DeWitt about a week before the murder. At one point during the sentencing hearing, DeWitt had to be restrained while the prosecution was talking, and a judge warned him if he did it again, he'd be removed from the courtroom.
Uber.
If outbursts like that continue, I'm left with no other choice but to ask you to remove you from the courtroom. That'd be great.
In court for DeWitt's sentencing, several members of Minogue's family, including one of Minogue's sons, her sisters, and her parents. They all spoke on the type of person Julie was and what their family has missed since her death.
I often lie awake at night thinking about the last few moments of her life and what they must have been like. I can't imagine the fear and the pain in those last moments of her life. I pray that God took her quickly so that she didn't feel pain. What makes us...
He denied me and my family the right to see my daughter, even before her funeral, because he mutilated her. And we couldn't even see her or say goodbye to her. No mother should ever have to suffer the pain he inflicted on myself or my family.
My family, my brothers, and my mother can now rest in knowing this monster of a so-called human being we put away for what should be the rest of his pathetic excuse for life.
In my mind, the defendant will be receiving a very favorable sentence, but I do acknowledge that he will be incarcerated and society will be protected from his evil for decades. My family, however, received a life sentence as my daughter was taken away forever.
In addition to his sentence, the judge also issued 2 protective orders on DeWitt, both set to expire in 2065, the same year his sentence ends. In Milford, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
On now to a story we first brought you yesterday. You're looking at exit 56 on I-84 in East Hartford. It will soon be covered in cones and excavators and workers in hard hats. There's an upcoming bridge repair project that will mean detours and potential delays. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules has more from the DOT about what we can expect.
The Connecticut Department of Transportation says that exit 56 could be closed until July or possibly later if bad weather delays construction. This project is a part of CTDOT's nearly $5.5 million plan to repair 5 different bridges in the greater Hartford area. While there isn't a bridge on exit 56, there is a bridge in need of repair directly over it.
This is a unique situation. So the bridge we're actually working on is the Route 2 overpass, which goes right over exit 56.
Josh Morgan, the Director of Communications for the Connecticut Department of Transportation, says ideally these projects won't result in the complete closure of an exit. But due to these unique circumstances, closing the exit is the only way to complete construction.
And because of the type of equipment and the type of material we need to have out there, there's just no possible way to keep traffic flowing off the exit ramp.
The exit will be closing after Memorial Day to avoid creating additional traffic on the busy holiday weekend. Traffic will be detoured to exit 58 on I-84 eastbound. Morgan says that although no one likes detours or lane closures, it's important to get this type of routine maintenance done.
It's better to not wait until a bridge or a structure gets into a very bad condition to then try to rebuild it or demolish it and build a new bridge.
Roy Bradshaw, an East Hartford resident, says the exit being closed may cause more traffic issues. However, he's thankful to see the state improve the bridge.
You know, there's other routes, but it might take a little more time. They got to do a little more planning to get to work, and I might even have to, but I'll have to give that some thought when time happens.
CTDOT asked that as they begin several construction projects across the state, that drivers follow detours and drive through work zones with caution to protect their workers. In East Hartford, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Overnight, the House passed President Trump's tax package.
A bill, the one big beautiful bill. I think it's going to be the biggest bill ever passed, and we got to get it done. Tremendous tax cuts for people, tremendous incentives, tremendous regulation cuts.
Yeah, overnight, the House passed President Trump's tax package, known as the Big Beautiful Bill, and this measure now heads to the Senate for their consideration.
So in the meantime,
some nonprofits and advocacy groups say they're concerned about what this could mean for social programs like SNAP and Medicaid, but they tell me there could be other wide-reaching impacts, too.
It's certainly not going to be good.
Local nonprofits like Connecticut Food Share are worried after the U.S. House passed a sweeping tax package early Thursday morning. The more than 1,000-page bill includes about $4 trillion in spending, just under $2 trillion in cuts, and new reforms to social programs.
There are genuine implications for food banks like ours, for food pantries across Connecticut and across the United States.
Connecticut Food Share says 516,000 people in the state are food insecure. That's an 11% increase from last year. Nearly 400,000 people in Connecticut receive Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefits, known as SNAP. That's about 12% of households in the state.
For every meal that we are able to provide here at the food bank, SNAP provides 9. SNAP is hands down the first line of defense against hunger in the United States of America in the year 2025.
This bill would implement new work requirements for people ages 55 to 64 on SNAP, saving up to $300 billion over the next decade, but limiting eligibility for the program.
The number of people in need is going up, and the amount of food that we have to help them is going down. That's a really, really bad equation. If the cuts that the House has approved to SNAP go into effect, we could see our lines double, maybe even triple.
This package also includes reforms to Medicaid, extends Trump's 2017 tax cuts, and eliminates taxes on tips and overtime wages through 2028. The bill faced a slew of changes at the 11th hour, including removing the tax on gun silencers.
They were regulated in 1934 because of their use in gangland murders, primarily in Chicago by gangsters like Al Capone. And they've been regulated in the same way as machine guns for a reason.
This amendment delists silencers from the National Firearms Act, effectively ending the current $200 tax. Brown says this could be detrimental to public safety.
These kinds of devices without regulation will be used in horrific crimes in this country. We want to save lives and we want to prevent needless, unnecessary tragedies, and this regulation of silencers helps us do that.
This bill is now heading to the Senate for consideration, and some lawmakers have already expressed interest in making some changes. Congressional Republicans want to have this bill passed by both chambers and on President Trump's desk by the 4th of July. Reporting in Hartford, Emma Wolforst, Fox 61.
New here at 6, a 7th grade girl has been charged with arson. Meriden police say she set paper towels on fire at school. Police say Washington Middle School was evacuated Monday morning. We're told the fire started inside a girl's bathroom. 4 school employees needed medical attention for breathing in that smoke. Surveillance video outside the bathroom caught the girl.
We have new details tonight. Hartford police identified the man who died in a crash last night. Officials say 25-year-old Felix Vasquez was in the passenger seat of a car when the driver crashed into the back of a parked unoccupied box truck. This happened just after 9:30 p.m. on Main Street. Vasquez was pronounced dead at the hospital. We're told the driver ran away from police, and officials are still looking for that person tonight.
Now here at 6, union machinists are still negotiating their contract with Pratt & Whitney on day 17 of their strike. We're told everyone gathered at the bargaining table at 10 this morning. Pratt & Whitney workers have been protesting for more than 2 weeks in East Hartford and Middletown. Their health benefits ran out on Monday. Lawmakers have since been trying to get them coverage through Health CT, which while these negotiations play out.
The Diocese of Norwich is no longer bankrupt. The U.S. Bankruptcy Court in Hartford confirmed it this morning. The Norwich Roman Catholic Diocesan Corporation proposed a joint plan to the judge during a hearing today to allow them to emerge from Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The plan solidifies the $31 million settlement for survivors of sexual abuse. Estate professionals in the bankruptcy case agreed to a 10% reduction in allowed fees to add to the settlement fund. Bishop Richard Reedy of Norwich apologized again to survivors for the sexual abuse they experienced at Mount St. John's School. The diocese says the plan allows them to continue doing charitable and religious work.